Welcome student. In last class we have completed the monosaccharides. In that we have studied the example of glucose and fructose. We have also studied their open chain structure and cyclic structure and how the Hayward structure is formed. Today we are going to learn the further part of the carbohydrates, that is disaccharides. It is the part of oligosaccharides. So, what are disaccharides? The carbohydrates which on hydrolysis yield two molecules of either the same or different monosaccharides. Now, this hydrolysis takes place or can be done in presence of dilute acids or enzymes. Now, how these disaccharides are formed? These are formed with the two monosaccharides. They are joined together by the linkage of oxygen, that is, with the oxygen atom. And this linkage is called as glycosidic linkage. Now, the question can be asked for 1 mark. What is glycosidic linkage? The two monosaccharides are joined together by an oxide linkage formed by the loss of water molecule. Such a linkage between two monosaccharide units through oxygen atom is called glycosidic linkage. Example: sucrose, maltose, lactose. There are many other examples, but we have to study these three in detail. Let us start with sucrose. The formula is C12H22O11. Now, sucrose on hydrolysis gives the equimolar mixture of glucose and fructose. Here, glucose can be written as D plus glucose. D plus glucose, and fructose can be written as D minus fructose. This is already we have learned in last class. So the reaction is shown here, that is C12H22O11 plus H2O. Now hydrolysis means addition of water. In presence of dilute sulfuric acid H2SO4 gives C6H12O6, that is 1 molecule of C6 glucose and 1 molecule of fructose. This is called as equimolar. Now how the structure is? Just see here, this is glucose, alpha D glucose in the form of pyranose ring, whereas this is beta D fructose in the form of furanose ring, that is 5-membered ring. Now in this if you have seen, first carbon atom of glucose, that is this part, first atom of carbon links with second carbon atom of the fructose, and the linkage, if you see the individual structure, you will come to know at the first carbon atom of alpha D glucose, here it comes as OH and here it comes as OH. So these two OH molecule react to form, with the loss of water molecule, it gets linked through oxygen atom, and this type of linkage is called as glycosidic linkage. Just go through this structure once again. This structure can be asked for 2 marks. Remember students, as already I have mentioned, that all the atoms or the groups should be mentioned properly. If there is a single mistake, you will lose the marks for that. So glycosidic linkage between C1 of alpha glucose and C2 of beta fructose. Now if you see in this C1, that is of aldehyde group of glucose, and C2 is nothing but ketonic group of fructose. So both are linked in the formation of glycosidic linkage, means both are not free. That is, aldehydic group of glucose and ketonic group of fructose, both are not free. Hence, sucrose is a non-reducing sugar. Now this question can also be asked. Sucrose is a non-reducing sugar. Give reason. So the answer is, since the reducing groups of glucose and fructose are involved in glycosidic linkage, sucrose is a non-reducing sugar. So in bracket the answer is given, that is aldehyde and ketone groups are not free. This complete answer you have to write it. Next, inversion of cane sugar. Cane sugar means sucrose. So sucrose is a dextrorotatory, means it rotates the plane polarized light on the right hand side, but after hydrolysis gives dextrorotatory glucose and levorotatory fructose. We have already seen the reaction, that is sucrose on hydrolysis gives one molecule of glucose and one molecule of fructose. So in that, glucose is dextrorotatory, that is rotates the plane polarized light towards right hand side, and fructose rotates the plane polarized light towards left hand side, therefore levorotatory. Now, since the levorotation of fructose, you can see the figure in bracket with minus sign 92.4 degree, is more than dextrorotation of glucose, that is plus 52.5 degree. The mixture is levorotatory, means after hydrolysis sucrose brings about a change in the sign of rotation from dextro to levo. Maximum is levo, therefore change in sign takes place, which is known as inversion, and the mixture is known as invert sugar. Next example is maltose. Again, the formula is C12H22O11. Sucrose is the most common disaccharide in nature because it is found in cane sugar. But maltose is least common disaccharide in nature. It is present in germinating grain, corn syrup, etc. This is also known as malt sugar. It can be formed by partial hydrolysis of starch. It is a reducing sugar since there is a free aldehyde group at C1 position of the second glucose molecule. We have learned that sucrose is non-reducing sugar but maltose is reducing sugar. The enzyme that hydrolyzes maltose is maltase. Now this question can be asked for 1 mark also. Let us see the structure. Maltose on hydrolysis gives 2 molecules of alpha D glucose units. Now here 2 molecules . Two molecules of alpha D glucose, means 2 similar molecules we are getting. Units held together by a glycosidic linkage between C1 and C4. So this one is first alpha D glucose and this one is second alpha D glucose. Now here C1 of 1 alpha D glucose is linked with C4 of second glucose molecule. Now, in this, if you see, this aldehyde group, that is CHOH, is free. Hence, it is a reducing sugar. It can reduce the Tollens reagent or Felling's solution or Benedict's reagent. So, maltose is reducing sugar. Now, this structure can also be asked for 2 marks. And if you see the previous year question papers, out of these 3 structures, that is sucrose, maltose or lactose, any one structure is asked for 2 marks. So please keep the practice of writing the structures properly. Give the numbering here. Already the numbering is given. You also try with numbering so that you will not forget any of the carbon atom or any of the group. Next example is lactose. Again the formula is same, C12H22O11. Lactose is found in milk and milk of mammals. Therefore, it is also known as milk sugar. Mammals means cows or even human beings. So in cow, 4 to 6% cow milk, 4 to 6% lactose is present and 5 to 8% lactose is present in human milk. This is composed of beta D galactose and beta D glucose by glycosidic linkage between C1 of galactose and C4 of glucose. Means lactose on hydrolysis gives one molecule of beta D galactose and one molecule of beta D glucose. This is also a reducing sugar since there is free aldehyde group at C1 position of the glucose molecule. Remember, it is glucose molecule. Now just see the structure. This is galactose and this one is glucose molecule. So here the first carbon atom of glucose is free and hence it is a reducing sugar. Now what is galactose? Just see the fourth carbon atom of galactose. Here if you see the structure of glucose and galactose, it is very much similar, but only the difference is fourth carbon atom, the OH group is up and H group is down. So this you have to remember. That is one molecule of galactose and one molecule of glucose. And one more trick to remember the lactose structure is the glycosidic linkage is in the form of N shape. In other two, if you have seen, it is straight, but in lactose, it is of N shape. You can refer the textbook also and do the practice of writing these 3 structures, that is sucrose, maltose and lactose. Next part is polysaccharides. Polysaccharides, poly means many. So on hydrolysis, the carbohydrates which on hydrolysis gives large number of monosaccharides. They are called as polysaccharides. Now how these large number of monosaccharide units are joined? Again by glycosidic linkage. They mainly act as food storage or structural materials. Example, starch, cellulose and glycogen. So here we have to study in detail, but the structures are not necessary. If you want the detailed information or if you want to see the structures, you can go through the textbook which is given on page number 410 and 11. So starch is the storage polysaccharide of plants. So it is present in plants. Most important dietary source for human being. From whatever food we are taking, we are getting the starch. From maximum amount of food, we are getting the starch. Main sources of starch are wheat, maize, rice, potatoes, barley, etc. It is a white amorphous powder, insoluble in cold water. Even you have seen the starch powder also. It is a polymer of alpha glucose and consists of two components, that is amylose and amylopectin. Now polymer means large number of alpha glucose molecules are linked together by glycosidic linkage. So it consists of two components, that is amylose and amylopectin. Here the question which is asked on this part is, write the difference between amylose and amylopectin. So the difference points are given. First one, amylose, it is a water soluble component and amylopectin is water insoluble component. How much part of starch is constituted by the amylose? It is 15 to 20%. And amylopectin is 80 to 85%. And therefore, it is insoluble in water. See, maximum part, that is 80 to 85% is amylopectin, and hence starch is insoluble in water, in cold water. How is amylose? It is long unbranched chain. Unbranched means straight chain, no branching at all. Chain with 200 to 1000 alpha D glucose units held by C1C4 glycosidic linkage, as we have already seen in lactose or even in maltose. But here only alpha D glucose molecules are linked together. So very similar to the maltose structure. What is amylopectin? It is a branched chain polymer of alpha D glucose units in which chain is formed by C1C4 glycosidic linkage. Means such number of alpha D glucose molecules are linked together at C1C4 position. Whereas branching occurs at C1 and C6 glycosidic linkage. Means first carbon atom of one C1 of one glucose molecule linked with C6 of other glucose molecule in branching. So this is how the difference is given. 3 points are given. So this question can be asked for 2 or 3 marks. Note down the points and write it. Next one is cellulose. I hope you have heard this word cellulose, or you are might familiar with sellotape, because this sellotape can be formed by using cellulose. Main sources are wood, that is 45 to 50%, cotton 90 to 95%. It is the main constituent of cell walls. So, I hope you can understand this is present in plant. So, it is a storage polysaccharide of plants. that is most abundant organic substance in plant kingdom. Cellulose is a linear polymer of beta glucose. Just see here, there is no branching at all in cellulose. Cellulose is a linear polymer, means straight chain polymer of beta glucose. Large number of beta glucose molecules are linked together. It consists of bundles of polymeric chains which are held together by hydrogen bonding. Means glycosidic linkage is there, simultaneously hydrogen bonding is also there. It is colorless amorphous solid that decomposes on heating. It does not reduce Tollens reagent or filling solution, means it is a non-reducing. Cell wall of bacteria and plants is made up of cellulose. It cannot be digested by human stomach. Now this question can be asked for give reason for one mark. Why it is? Because for hydrolysis or for digestion of cellulose, the enzyme required is cellulase, which is not present in human being, but it is present in animals like cow, sheep or buffalo, etc. So, we cannot digest the cellulose. So, enzyme cellulase is required to convert cellulose into glucose, which is not present in human being. Hence, we cannot digest cellulose. Next one is glycogen. It is the storage polysaccharide present in animals, also known as animal starch, because its structure is similar to amylopectin, that is water insoluble component, and is rather more highly branched. As we have already learned that amylopectin consists of alpha D glucose molecules which are in branched form. Here also the branching is there in glycogen. It is also found in yeast and fungi. In human being, it is present in liver, muscles and brain. When the body needs glucose, enzymes break the glycogen down to glucose. So, glycogen is also required for our body, or it is present in our body also. I have written one note here. Structures of polysaccharides are not asked in exam. For details, please refer page number 410 and 411 in government textbook. So what is important in this part then? First one is what is the constituent of starch or cellulose or glycogen. Second one, the difference between amylose and amylopectin, or the components of the starch, etc. Now I have given you the assignment. What are the possible questions on this part, that is on today's part? First one, as well as in last part. Havoc structures of glucopyranose, that is alpha and beta glucose structures, that is 6-membered ring. Then fructofuranose, even in this also alpha and beta structures, that is in the form of 5-membered ring. Then Havoc structure of sucrose, maltose or lactose. These structures can be asked for 2 marks each. Please write all the structures on one page or on one paper separately. Then second question can be asked, that is definitions with example of monosaccharides, disaccharides, oligosaccharides or polysaccharides. Definition with one example. Then third one is difference between amylose and amylopectin. This question can be asked for 2 or 3 marks. And next one is name the storage polysaccharide present in plants or animals. This question can be asked for 1 mark. So such possible questions I have given you. If you want detailed questions, you can refer the website of Karnataka government, that is www.pue.kar.nic.in. In that, the question bank for PUC second year is given. You can go through that. Each and every topic question and answers are given on that. So please refer it, as well as reading of textbook is also necessary. As you have lot of time, you can utilize the time in reading the textbook. Please stay safe, stay home. Thank you.